In a scenario where you can see a teen or an adult suddenly collapse, it's important to act quick to save a life, and it's much easier than you think. Simply start hands-only CPR. The first step is to check. You should check if there's any reaction from the patient. Do this by slowly shaking the patient's shoulder and loudly speaking, "Can you hear me?" Look, listen, and feel for an indication of typical breathing sounds, and attempt to feel their breathing against your breast. Do this for not more than 10 seconds. If there are no signs of breathing and when breathing is unusual, noisy way, you must start a CPR. Second, make a certain to call for emergency medical assistance. Also, you should guarantee the consider administrator that the casualty isn't breathing ordinarily. Third step is to pack. After an emergency vehicle has been called, you ought to quickly start CPR. Put the heel on one hand to the focal point of the chest. At that point, put your hand on top of the mane. At that point, immovable in the focal point of the chest until help shows up. Note, it's critical to push given 100 to 120 compressions for every moment. Put the heel on one hand to the focal point of the chest. At that point, put your hand on top of the mane. At that point, immovable in the focal point of the chest until help shows up. Note, it's critical to push given 100 to 120 compressions for every moment. After doing the CPR, it's essential to place the patient in appropriate recovery position. To do this, kneel at the side of the patient. Extend the arm nearest you at the right angle to their body with your palm facing up, like this. Take their other arm and fold it so the back of their hand rests on the cheek closest to you and hold it in place. Use your free hand to bend the person's knee farthest from you to a right angle. Carefully roll the person onto their side by pulling on the bent knee. Their bent arm should be supporting the head, and their extended arm will stop you rolling them too far. Make sure their bent leg is at the right angle. Open their airway by gently tilting their head and lifting their chin, and check that nothing is blocking their way. Stay with the person and monitor their condition until help arrives.